Hi, I'm Lee, your host for the Portable Appliance Testing Trade Association's podcast. Hi, everybody. So, welcome to the PATTA podcast, and we've got a guest here. So, welcome to the PATTA podcast. Please do tell our listeners what your name is and what your role in PATTA is.
Hi Lee, my name's Liam Reid. My role in PATTA is a committee member, and part of my role is to liaise with some of our supplier partnerships.
Brilliant. So how long have you been a member with PATTA?
So I've been a member of PATTA now for the last, coming up to about 6 years now, so quite some time.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, and how long have you been on the committee?
So I've been with the committee for a couple of years now. A couple of years ago I joined.
Excellent. And has anything changed for you since becoming a member or becoming on the committee?
Yeah, certainly, Lee. So thinking about sort of being a member, the one thing I've always found to be fair, going back to sort of the previous committee members, that everyone was really accessible, really welcoming, which has always been great. And when the opportunity came to join the committee, I was more than happy to jump in and try and support PATTA too. What I've seen over the past couple of years since becoming a committee member is phenomenal. And to be fair, I can't wait for the members to actually see some of the hard work come to fruition, and they get to see some of the things that we've been doing in the background. Because I can see a lot of changes coming for PATTA in a positive way, that's really going to benefit our members in the field.
Excellent. When or what got you into PAT testing in the first place?
So about 6 years ago, I made the decision to leave corporate life. I'd sort of worked as an account manager, working for various national businesses, mainly in fire and security. But I always saw that I had that itch that just couldn't scratch in terms of owning and operating my own business. And obviously started to sort of go down the fire route. We do fire extinguishers, safety signage, fire training, that sort of thing. And what seemed a really good synergy was potentially PAT testing. And the more I kind of looked into it, the more I felt it would be a great addition to some of the services, and it actually
fits in well with that service that you're already offering.
Yeah, it perfectly fits in really tightly. That does, but to be honest, the more I kind of had a look into it initially, the more it actually became less of an add-on, but actually more of a lead service.
Yeah, it fits nicely, gels well with that fire theme that you've got going
100%
in your business.
100%, yeah.
Excellent. So, Liam, what motivates you? What's your typical day?
So, Lee, a typical day is quite varied, as you can imagine, because we offer a number of different solutions for our clients. But in terms of motivation, I think one of the greatest things for me, or what drives me to kind of get out of bed in the morning, is that sort of creating something of value for our clients. And one of the best things that we ever receive is that positive feedback from sort of peers and clients alike, really. But it's that, and it's kind of what started me to want and drive me to have my own business, was to create something that I can be proud of and something that my family can be proud of.
Excellent, yeah. And I suppose when you're thinking about when you've been in that business and you've taken on more new training, etc., you're leaving that business in sound knowledge for yourself that that business is in safe hands and they're going to be safe at the end of the day. You can sleep well at night.
100%, yeah, absolutely. Leaving a client in the best possible shape we can. When we think about one of the key words in what we do is safety, and making sure that people are safe. That's key. But I just want to add a couple of points to what you mentioned there. Education is a really key thing, something that, again, I think has got to be a really key motivation when you're developing this sort of business, to go and learn new skills. But also adding innovations and technological solutions to the problems and issues that we face, I think is another driver for me, because technology is changing and solutions are changing. And I think finding those and trying to match them to some of the problems that both we as a business and our clients face, again, is something that really motivates me. And I think that's the creative side of me that sort of, comes through there.
That's great. Trent Safety Services, based in Nottingham, is your business. What piece of advice for our PATTA members have you got like what can you say? Something like anything like running a business, testing something, best place to buy equipment. Is there any one piece of advice you can give our listeners?
Yeah, it's a really good question, Lee. So I've been operating Trent Safety Services now for coming up to the last sort of 6 years, really. I've got two things written above my head on my whiteboard at the moment, which I think are really good things, and it's more business related. So the first one, if you go on any business course, they'll show you like a little circular diagram that says plan, do, check, act. Obviously, plan what you're doing, try and put a plan together, and then go out and do it. And I think that's a really important part, because obviously I've mentioned earlier things like innovation and solutions and things like that. You can get sometimes a little bit bogged down with trying to make the perfect product and solution. But certainly just go out there and do it is a big thing. But it's the last two things that are really important, and it's the check and act, and it's making sure that you always come back and review the things that you're doing. And it's a circular thing. So you plan, you go out and do it, you check what you're doing, and then you put actions in place. Then you go back to planning again, you go back to doing again. And if you carry on doing that, you'll have a really good business.
It's like a cycle.
It is absolutely that. But the
That's
other thing
great.
that I've got written above my head is you can have it all, but just not today. And that's
brilliant.
a really key thing, because
Excellent.
these are all great things, but don't expect it all to come on one day. Go out there and do the job first, learn some bits.
That's fantastic advice. And thank you very much for coming along today.
Thank you, Lee.
It's been an eye-opener, and thank you very much. And look forward to the next podcast. Cheers.
Thank you.